2022 witnessed a new MPL premiere. Well, Super League to be precise. Liga LATAM. You might be surprised to hear that in spring 2022 another new MPL made its debut. However, despite its rather large prize pool, the wide audience almost completely forgot this league ever existed. Today, we shall talk about this forgotten region. Welcome to the Middle East. North Africa, or MENA in short. Hosts, analysts, and commentators. MENA had hosts, casters, and analysts present throughout the entire season. The host also did an analyst job. The game series started with his preview and ended with his analysis. One thing I appreciated about this MPL was the visual explanation. The analyst took a game replay, used a program to draw on the screen, and with it explained various team fights, lord skirmishes that occurred during the said game and other things. This is a very helpful feature for less experienced players, who might struggle to understand verbal exposition and need a visualization of the problem. There might be a thing or two I have to reproach MPL MENA for. Let's take a look at the studio's appearance. Whilst I understand this is a subjective taste, I think you'll agree with me when I say the studio and the caster's desk look bad. Firstly, I suspect the host's and caster's desk is fully green screen, which is not ideal. Caster's desk can be understandable when you don't play on stage. However, host studio fully green screen. I'll pass. The graphics look underwhelming, to be mild. Both rooms have a really bad, sterile feel. There is no soul. Nothing to indicate this is the Middle East, North Africa Professional League. Looks more like a dystopian corporate wet dream. A soulless structure. Viewership. Well, viewership is getting better, yeah. At least the average viewership. Season 1 didn't even reach 1,000 on average with a 7,500 peak. Season 2 has not surpassed peak viewers, although it witnessed almost a 50% increase in average viewership. Even with the optimistic surge, MENA is still a dead league. M4 is a key opportunity, and Throne Esports has to perform outstandingly to bring some spotlight to MENA, especially after the disastrous performance of the GX team in M3. We'll see if the new audience keeps on coming. Regular season, it's a disgrace. During the regular season, you can only see players during the wait time between the game series when a pre-recorded message plays out. There are no boot camp cameras. There is no stage. Hell, not even a post-game interview. What is this? The only person willing to watch this league is the person who wants to cheer for the region. Otherwise, you have exactly zero arguments to even watch MPL MENA regular season. You can't see the players celebrate their victory, draft taunt, or give live interviews. No, you tune into the stream. Watch some guys talk cast games, analyze them, and repeat. You might as well look around YouTube and tune in to watch Indonesian pro players play ranked. I won't understand a thing, sure, still. It's a better experience than this. Season 1 featured 10 teams with 9 game series played out. Season 2 cut down the number to 8 teams with 7 game series. No problem here. In my opinion, 10 teams were overkill for Season 1. Unfortunately, one overkill replaces another. While we now have 8 teams playing MENA, 50% of the team are eliminated in the group stages, 4 out of 8. If you think organizers do it to reduce the overall length of the MPL season, please explain to me then why the upper and lower brackets are still present in the playoffs. A mechanic that prolongs the playoff stage by some hours. It's too harsh. I prefer the Southeast Asia system where only 2 teams are eliminated from the group stage. Lastly, I said this in my previous videos, my MPL standard is that the teams play each other twice. Therefore, I want to see 14-game series in 2023. Playoffs.
It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground.
You underestimate my power.
Oh sorry, I don't know how it got there. Here, you can see the majestic entrance of the grand finalists of MPL MENA Spring 2022 or Season 1. You can imagine the playoffs quality. Garbage. Let me give credit for at least having the stage even though it's a laughingstock. At least something, right? Now allow me to take my compliment back because they took the stage away in fall 2022. That was the only good thing about the playoffs. Well, the fall 2022 or Season 2 playoffs have cameras in the boot camps. Nice. No, really, this is an improvement and MPL MENA needs improving. I'll appreciate every improvement to the overall feel. Season 1 didn't even bother to show you the player on live stream up until the grand finals. Again, no post-match interviews. I wish I could say something positive about MPL MENA, I really do. Unfortunately, playoffs are just empty. MENA viewership is not great either. They need to expand their audience. There is nothing to attract a potential viewer. The only good time to watch MPL MENA is during the grand finals. Don't bother in the knockout stage, just watch the finals. Sad. One funny thing. Season 2 removed the stage, yes. However, after the conclusion, we are talkingly 10 to 20 minutes after players from the top 3 teams go onto the stage to receive their checks and a trophy. What? Why wasn't the entire thing broadcasted from the stage in the first place? MENA needs massive improvements, fast. Bring back the stage for the grand finals. And eventually the rest of the playoffs. Also, add post-match interviews, and even pre-match talk. Have teams tease each other a bit, the audience loves taunting. Do it, and I'll say your playoffs are worth watching, even if it's not the grand finals. Prize pool, 130,000 United States dollars in spring 2022 and 100,000 United States dollars in fall. Saudi Arabia's monthly median income is almost $3,000. The United Arab Emirates reach $5,500. Egypt, on the other hand, sits at $550. The USA, in comparison, has $4,000 monthly median income. Montan had to give some good money to the high-class countries, otherwise this project would die in the pilot season. That is what you would think. Well, saying Montan gives money is rather naive. In reality, the Middle East authorities are looking for a way to remain relevant and are willing to open up their pockets. Allow me to educate you. Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates are located on the Arab Peninsula right here. This region is particularly rich in crude oil. It's no secret Peninsula made trillions of dollars by exporting this black gold. However, oil is a limited resource. You cannot produce oil, only harvest it. Eventually, Arabia is going to run out of its precious oil. This means a large cut in export earnings and a potential poverty situation. Saudi Arabian Crown Prince, for example, has begun investing in the esports scene in hopes to garner enough attention to be able to transform his country into an esports global superpower. When your country is a massive desert, there are limited options. For esports, you only need hardware and an audience. Splash enough money over it and people will start to flock in. Saudis have money. This is a good idea. After all, there is only a limited amount of teams in top football leagues to buy. Why am I telling you this? Video length. Also, to remind you that Montan is not suddenly giving out generous sums. I'd say 90% of the prize is from Arabs. Miser company doesn't give a damn about their athletes. Is the prize pool good enough? It surely surpassed my bare minimum for the MPL prize pool. It is enough for countries like Egypt and maybe even Saudi Arabia. UAE, on the other hand? No, not really. You would need a 300,000 prize pool for UAE. As you can probably imagine, this sounds like a massive money sink. And it is a massive money sink. There isn't a good solution to this dilemma. MPL MENA needs more viewers first to justify the increase in the prize pool. Unfortunately, the Arab Peninsula hasn't got a large market to expand into. I think there are only around 85 million people living there. Egypt, on the other hand, has over 100 million people. I think you can see why this is MPL MENA and not only MPL Middle East. The North African market is significantly larger, not in wealth, but in the audience. It's not a coincidence Muntun chose MENA over North America or other regions. The Middle East was willing to pay for the prize pool and who knows what else. Money sink, you can't lower the prize pool for players, that's out of the question despite the low viewership. You might as well just disband this project if you ever decide to decrease funding again. Players, when Throne Esports reached Jakarta, I highly recommend doing some content creation on YouTube and other platforms. If you perform well at M4, it is guaranteed people will start flocking to your channels, which in turn shall influence the viewership of MPL MENA. I doubt there are any big Arab streamers or YouTubers, unfortunately. M4 can produce the first Arab content creators. This will open doors to even more Arab content creators. If somebody beats you in a ranked game, they can make a video about it and start a career of their own. One of the reasons why MLBB is so popular in Southeast Asia is that there are many popular content creators playing each other in the MPLs or ranked games. As a side job, they do YouTube, streaming, vlogs, Omegle or other stuff. This allows viewers to connect more personally with their idol. That's why Mobile Legends has grown so much over there. Final rating, casters, analysts and hosts value. Please do something about the hosts and the casters' studio visual appearance. The current version looks so lifeless. I despise this sterile, soulless appearance. The host and the casters do a great job. Messages from players in the ad break are a good idea. Shame most will miss them because they click off when the ad break comes. The main show is also good. I only miss one thing from MPL MENA, its soul. It needs a soul. 1.75 out of 2. Positive experience regardless. Regular season value. I don't know why I even bother broadcasting this. You won't see players on the live stream up until playoffs in Season 2. Not even a goddamn post-match interview. Amateur tournaments can do better than this. 8 teams are in the group stage, and 4 of them get eliminated after the 7-game series are played out. That's too much. There is no need to kill off 50% of the competition so early on. Avoid the regular season. Tune in during the playoffs. There is no reason for you to watch MPL MENA regulars instead of watching literally any other MPL. Give us cameras in the boot camps, give us post-match interviews. 14 matches and 6 teams in the playoffs. Until then, I'll keep avoiding this forgotten mess. I award Season 1 with 0.5 out of 2 and Season 2 with 0 out of 2. Complete waste of time. Playoffs value. Spring 2022 had players on the live stream at the grand finals. Well, at least there was a stage even though it was a clown fiesta. Knockout rounds followed the regular season pattern. Basically, just skip to the finals. Fall 2022 at least added cameras to the boot camps. The stage went bye-bye for some reason. Now players won't perform in front of people. Instead, they'll play in a closed room, and after a team wins, players will go up to a stage to receive a trophy and prize money. How does this make sense? Both seasons earned 0.5 out of 3. This is a mess of a pro league. I'll go even further. Nothing here indicates this is a pro league. Remove the MPL logo. Remove the trophy ceremony and you have your average amateur league. Disaster. This has to change. Prize pool meets the standards. Unfortunately, the Arab Peninsula is quite diverse in life standards and monthly income in dollar. For a country like Egypt, this is easily a 3 out of 3 prize pool. United Arab Emirates, on the other hand, not so much. Therefore, a compromise is needed. 2 out of 3, $100,000 is clearly generous for North Africa and even some parts of the peninsula. Some parts. Countries like UAE, Qatar and others bring the rating down because the median monthly income is so unequal throughout the MENA countries. A super league for the wealthier nations is a solution. Although I have a feeling the prize pool for Egypt, Lebanon and other not-so-rich countries would shrink drastically. Probably $300,000 would be appropriate for MENA. Such sum right now is a money sink. There should be a good reason to make the MPL MENA prize pool as large as MPL Indonesia. A stellar performance at World Championship, for example. At the moment, Arab teams have to prove they deserve more. Viewership isn't there, nor are achievements. Overall, decent prize pool. Poorer countries definitely benefit from having super rich countries in MPL. From the rich perspective, this prize pool is mediocre at best. Finally, we're at the end. MPL MENA earns a disastrous 3.75 out of 10. Fix your regular season and fix your playoffs. Because at the moment, there is no reason to watch anything but the grand finals. Lastly, give your studios some soul. For God's sake, Islam has a rich history and rich culture. This sterile green screen crap is a major turnoff. Alright, that's it for the review. What is your opinion about MPL MENA? Are you interested in watching the competition? Do you think Thrones Esports can do good at M4? Write in the comment section. Have a good day.